Have you ever thought about owning your own business? Have you thought about what owning a business could mean for your life and livelihood? Our next guest has. Joanna Krotz has written a book to encourage women to start their own business and offers advice and encouragement along with some vital resource information. The book is called Being Equal Doesn't Mean Being the Same. Why behaving like a girl can change your life and grow your business. We welcome Joanna Krotz here to Virginia this morning. Good morning.
I'm glad to be here. I wish you'd done something about the weather, but
that's okay. Everybody's inside watching you now. That's a good thing.
Fun. Yeah.
The subtitle of this book is the interesting part. I think initially it says, why behaving like a girl can change your life and grow your business. In this context, what do you mean by behaving like a girl?
Well, I think women manage differently than men do, and when they manage in corporate precincts where the senior person is a male, they don't actually measure up in the same way. So for instance, women tend to be collegial, they tend to build teams, they tend to build bridges and facilitate things, and the image of the corporate hero is riding in on the horse, solving the problem, being a warrior. And if women don't do that, they're seen as incompetent or not measuring up again, or they don't get credit for behaving the way that they will get the job done. One of the other things that happens is that women don't actually cut their rivals off at the knees, typically. Not every woman, not every guy, but typically. And that's also seen as a sign of weakness. If you don't throw your rival down the stairs and cut him out and build a business without that guy who wanted your job, you're seen as weak. I think it's smart. You bring in institutional memory, you make a friend out of an enemy. But again, this is behaving like a girl. Women tend to behave that way as managers, and power, and negotiations, and communications, and sales, all those things.
Why did you become such an advocate for female entrepreneurship, and why did you think writing a book like this was so important?
I became passionate because I became disenchanted. I was a top editor at a string of national magazines, and I kept feeling like I didn't quite fit in. You know, the things I was saying, the ideas I was suggesting didn't seem to land on very receptive ears. I kept being hired as a change agent. Oh, you can change everything, and then things did not change that much. So it was very stressful. And when I quit and started my own business, everything cleared up. I was so much happier. And I think women are. There are actually studies that have been done that show that women who run their own companies have more satisfaction, more purpose in life, not necessarily as much dough, because they run smaller companies, but much happier. Work-life balance, time for Machu Picchu, time for yoga, you know. There's just a different kind of definition of success.
And when women start businesses, it's important that they network and not become enemies of other women, I guess, who are working with either within their company or working as competitors. We've got to kind of work together.
Not all women are my sisters.
True.
But this queen bee syndrome that gets invoked about how women want to destroy other women or not do well with them, I really think that has a lot to do with the corporation, where there's room for one or there's room for two, and then the third one coming up has to really cut through the brushes to get up. When you have women who own their own businesses, I think there's a much better way of collegial networking, of helping people. I know as I've gone through my business, I've been helped by enormous numbers of women. On the other hand, I want to say hang out where the boys are. I don't think we should only be with women. The money men are over there, the money men are over there, the funders tend to be that. We need to have co-ed kinds of power.
How can women utilize your book? How is it meant to be used?
It's a good question. Both inspirationally, I have dozens of stories of women profiles of women who started businesses. Princeton, India today, who's going to be interviewed later now, a 15-year-old doing this extraordinary business. There's a 15-year-old in my book who began a business for pure chemicals, makeup and skincare and house cleaning, that is now a multi-million business because she started at 15. She was horrified at the chemicals that she had to deal with. Now she's 22. And other women who have started businesses that men don't usually start. For instance, a woman out in California who started a business with acupressure bands that will relieve morning sickness. It's not a guy thing.
No, it's not. Well, there are a lot of people at home today probably thinking, maybe I can do that. Well, this is the book you should read. It's called Being Equal Doesn't Mean Being the Same. Thank you so much, Joanna, for coming to see us
It's available everywhere, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, every bookshop.